Hello, it's Kev here. Introduction number 42 of our 101 introductions, third series. So, as you may or may not know, what I'm doing here with IELTS 9 Pro, my friends on Telegram, we're looking for new IELTS essay topics, and I write a sample to show you how you could do it, and we invite our channel members to submit their introductions and one essay for review. So here we go. If you're watching on YouTube, links below. Okay, so this is one about zoning, where, you know, like in cities, you've often got like a business, a district, or they'll put all the shopping centres together, etc. Okay, so do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages of this policy? Bit of paraphrasing here. There's your thesis, introduction, but we'll just get straight down to the main essay. So, you paraphrase, answer the question. Urban planners often segregate shops, schools, offices, specialised zones. Just write some drawbacks. What are they? My view, the advantages of improved organisation and better resource management. Answer the question, outweigh the disadvantages. So that's a good introduction, because as I keep explaining in nearly every video, people keep putting this in this essay. I will discuss the question and I will give my opinion, followed by a reason. That's nonsense. It tells you nothing. It's a waste of your words and a waste of the reader's time. So having a clear outline sentence that tells us what you're going to tell us, that's good. Now, I won't read all out. You can see it for yourself. What's the disadvantage of zoning? Reduced accessibility, commuting time. Like, I used to live in Istanbul, and sometimes people, to get to the business district in the Levant part of the city, if you were living on the Asian side, like most people did, because it's cheaper, it could take an hour and a half, depending on how far out you actually are, to get into work. So anyway, in Beijing also, yeah, because lots of people live on the suburb, outer ring roads, etc. I used to live in what was it called? Shuni, beyond the 6th ring road by the airport. It took me an hour and a half to get into town to some of the language schools. Anyway, so it's not good. All right. So what's the advantages though? Well, there are some. The business districts, they usually have all the banks and all the stuff grouped together. Residential areas also are usually grouped together, usually in the suburbs. So, there's some quietness, there's some safety, makes it easier. So, they do have some drawbacks, but if it's implemented correctly, then it can work out. Okay? Anyway, so I'll just put the whole thing on the screen so you can have a peep and see it all in one go. Okay. Now let's have a look at one of my students' full answers. Okay. That's not too bad. It's not so bad. You can see the changes that I made. Now, right. Now, by simply making a statement, right, without explaining how exactly, it doesn't really work. So reduction in congestion. So if you've got a special zone, but like for the business zone, like I said, people still have to get there. So how's that going to be reducing foot traffic and cars? Because people still have to go to these areas from wherever they live. So it's not going to ease congestion, is it? I mean, so, that's a different issue. So it doesn't really kind of work. It's like, okay, but how does that work exactly? People still have to, it's like, like where I live now, Bratislava, in the morning, evening, it's jam-packed because people live outside of the city. They come in to get into the middle of town to work. And that's, they go to the business area, they go into town. There's still congestion, so how's that going to work? So I won't use that as a reason why it's a good thing to do, because it doesn't really reduce congestion. Not as such. Anyway, and the second one here. Okay, and you've got this one here about the schools. All right. So if you put schools in quiet and less crowded places, better safety levels. Well, how so? How do you define that? What do you mean by safety? So it's like, okay, but what does that mean? How exactly does that provide them with better safety levels? Safety from cars or traffic, or safety from fiends and perverts who want to get into a school? What does that mean? It doesn't really explain a lot. Anyway, so there's a few other things here, like you can see as I changed. Now, in conclusion, a fraction of those in charge. A fraction? Well, it doesn't say that, does it? It says planners tend to arrange. So in general, city planners, that's what they do. So what does this mean? A fraction in those in charge? Okay, well, that doesn't quite work out. So anyway, there's a few things there. You can see. So not too bad, but it needs to be a bit more specific. Now, like I just said about answering the question in your outline. So you have answered it in that, yes, they do outweigh, but you haven't given us any clue to what they are. Now, did you mean distinguish or differentiate, as opposed to your original word, which wasn't even a word? And again, due to some reasons. Okay, but are you planning to tell us what they are? Now, and we don't really need this. Designing the structure of a city is a crucial subject. A subject? Well, it could be crucial, it could be important, but, get to the point. It's planners. Why do they do this? Okay, so answer the question. Okay, but increase the risk of damage to some specific facilities. In the damaged areas? What damaged areas? What does that mean? No idea. A bit vague. Myriads. You mean in many? Myriads of people, many people, responsible for planning tend to break down, not keen on. They're not keen on it. Right? They tend to do it. They have an inclination, which is not the same thing. And that's the one for the from the essay. So, not so bad. Not so bad. Just try to avoid these kind of sentences. I had to say this in the group last week. Somebody wrote about 20 words. In this essay, I will examine both views under discussion and present a reasoned argument. And like, what was that rubbish? Utter tripe. Right? It's a waste of time. Don't do it. So, get to the point in your introduction. I'll just put mine back on the screen. You can see it. There you go. Blah, 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 blah. Should do the whole thing. I'll leave it there. Right, see you next time. We've got some more coming up. This is 42. We've got 43, 44, and 45. I'm going to be making that today. So, I'll see you there. Check out the links. If you want to contact me directly, you can do so on italki. Just click the link below. Okay, I'll see you next time.